From the beautiful Suncoast in Vegas, we're here for the title matches of today's JBT event. High scoring day on the Billy Hardwick pattern. First time we ever use that pattern. We're going to have to place a phone call to Mr. Hardwick why he wanted the lane so soft. Hunter Mays led the scratch field today at plus 385, but right behind was this guy, Darius Allo, at plus 345. He just beat Tyler Castronova in the semifinal match to set up this finale, and so far so good for Allo. As catch up on the scores here, that's Hunter score on the right. He just missed a 2-7 to fall further behind against Darius. As you can see, he's got strike, spare, triple. Handicap title match just getting started. That's JT Verdi, who's won 2 games in a row in exciting fashion to get to this title match, where he's playing Connor Bell, looking for his first career JBT title. 110 back in that. Looks really good, but he's got to get fine-tuned on this pair. Darius coming off a 243 scratch game. Obviously, he's got a pretty good look on this pair already. Bell's nudges that 10-pin, but doesn't get it to fall. They're just in the second frame, so they were early. Darius, a 3-time champ in the handicap division before the age of 10. He ain't 10 anymore, kids. In fact, there's already another one in the pipeline, as Jairus Allo made the handicap division top 4 today, bowing out in round 1-2 Verdi. JT had front 8 that game before ring and 10 stopped him, and they got by rookie Dominic Montoya, who's only been bowling for 4 months, to set up the handicap final. Darius, meanwhile, had that high hit, that 6-9-10, which he covers up. He leads in the match by 22 pins through 6 frames. Connor part of the Virtue team and the Mesa East team. Same home center as Hunter and Chris. Unable to trip the 4 that time. It's a 1-pin handicap difference. JT has to beat Connor by 1 to tie and 2 to win. Different ways to bowl two-handed, just like there's different ways to bowl one-handed. Look at the pop Darius puts in that extreme high rev rate. When he gets anywhere near that light pocket, he just shreds rack these days. Good looking shot there. Meanwhile, Bell misses that easy spare. That's back-to-back 9 misses. Can't be doing that against JT right now. He's throwing the ball too sharp. Hunter starting to climb up the highest parts of our title list. We just saw Solomon win his 30th last week, which puts him tied for 8th with Derek Acuff. If Hunter comes back and wins this match, he will claim his 15th, which will tie him for 21st with Theo Duthay and Riley Dempsey. See some famous names there over amongst. Oh man! Verdi trips out the 7-10 are the last 2 pins to fall. He says, "Thank you very much." He throws pretty powerful 2-handed shot as well, and that one is going to irritate Hunter. So he had the strike working and just bad time for a ring and 7. So no thumbs are left, as is pretty typical for bowling in 2021. We had a pair a couple weeks ago where there was 5 on a pair, and all of them were righties throwing traditional with their thumb in it. It was like a throwback to 1978 or something. Meanwhile, JT capitalizes on the good carry the shot before. Dead flushes that one for 3 in a row on a big early lead. He is confident and bowling well right now. Oof, that ball just barely hangs on to clip that 7. Boy, and after missing 2 simple 9 counts, now Connor's got to deal with one of the spares I personally hate. 4/8s are so choppable and then so slide-buyable on today's lane patterns. Especially keeping his strike ball 2-handed. Boy, and I hate to say I saw that a million miles away, but I saw that a million miles away. A frustrating 3 opens in a row. Team Virtue is Team Tilt right now. They got to regroup. Mays does in his 8th frame. He's got room for 225. Darius going at a 217 pace. Spare strike the rest of the way. So still anybody's match, but Allo can go a long way to icing it. You can get the next 2 strikes here. Oh, man. No love for Connor right now, as he sends a wicked messenger. Every Vegas center, you get some great messengers. Sometimes they miss. Excellent shot, throwing that Ebonite arrow. Love that ball. Favorite ball in my arsenal. My vast arsenal of 3 or 4 balls. Puts him in the 220s. Now he's got to stay clean and hold count to win. Darius beat Tyler Castronova in the semifinals. That also served as the U17 title match. First scratch top 4 for Tyler. Good event for him. And Tyler beat Edward here. Looking to have a good senior season with us to open things up. And this to put a hammerlock in it, 9th frame. Oh, you bet. Might be bowling on Billy Hardwick, but that was a Dick Weber carry of the 4.57 out there, the last to fall. Hunter now needs all of them just to make Darius mark in the 10th. Wide right that time for JT. Right back here tomorrow at Suncoast for more action. Thank you so much to the amazing Becky Herman and her team here. We love coming to this beautiful center near the Summerlin part of Vegas. Look out. Now, does not have the look on that right-hand lane. After this weekend, we pack it all up. Do it again in Vegas. In Denver, I should say. I'm in Vegas now. Starting to lose track of where. Well, that sums up this title match for Mays. He couldn't get it going after an early double, and yeah, that rev rate and power, you don't see a 7.9 very often. It's going to be a fun little while until he can detox from that one. A bad title match, but a fantastic moment for Team Allo here, as he is going to win his first career scratch title. Could be on his way to many. Once you win that first one, it very often can open up the floodgates and realize you can do it more. JT gets that steep angle of entry to still take that 9-pin out. Good time for that. He will be in the 230s and will be a JBT champ. In the scratch division, I should say. He's been a JBT champ for, oh gosh, 7-8 years now. Finally, Connor gets that first strike over there. Trails in the match by 51, but we've seen a lot of handicap title matches change very, very rapidly, and scratch for that matter. But especially in handicap, it just ain't over till it is. That's close. All right, there we go. There's the double. Put himself in the right frame of mind a little bit more there. And Darius Allo finishes up with a 236 title-winning performance. Well, well, well.
I did my first scratch title.
Yes, you sure did. Emphatically.
Yes.
Can Jairus be far behind? Has Jairus done his nachos? That's what we all want to know. Over there. I made the mistake of giving Jairus his plaque right when he had a big old plate of nachos in front of him, and I was the second most important thing there for quite a while. Fantastic scores out of a lot of bowlers all day long today. Couple front tens, but the camera doom ended them all. Tyler Castanova's 298 was high. He'd normally be in the picture, but he's got homecoming tonight, so he lost and went. This is close at the 3.910. Nope, just a little bit too much of the double wood. And boy, we just mentioned how quickly they can change. This is already down to a 30-pin difference. Still 3 frames to go, and it's Connor now working on the double. Way high, when high enough, he gets the Brooklyn love. Great time for a great break there. He's not happy with the shot make, but he'll say thank you very much all day long to getting that to actually carry. Connor qualified first in the handicap division at plus 290 today, 145 after 5, doubled it in only 3 games. In round 2, while JT at 186 just slid into that number 4 spot over a couple bowlers. A lot of rookies today. Great to see a lot of first-time faces, and a lot of them with success today as well. Boy, I tell you what, these GSXs have bigger rakes, but I think there was a pin viciously spinning around in front of that 7, and not much of a reaction from Bell. And it was a pretty bad break to not carry it. Covers the spare, but gee whiz, that was awful close to tomahawking that 7 and making this a very different match than it is now. He can strike out for 195, which would make JT stay clean in the 9th and 10th. So pretty dire situation for him. He's got to set it up with this 9th frame strike. And he does. Perfect shot there. That was his best shot of the title match. Career high finish of 2nd in Kingman previous seasons. Would love to beat that by 1, but this confident youngster is 2 good shots away from winning his 2nd career title. Careful prep. Woo, baby. A lot of oil in the middle, a little bit of friction to the right. That's why the scores were higher than maybe the paper would have suggested today. But if you hit that oil for too long, that ball labors in the middle, and that could have been a 5 count. Instead, pins all around make it a much simpler 4-7. These 2-enders got to be careful hooking it at it, covering a lot of boards, but it hits it right in the face. Any mark in the 10th and he wins. He had to get 19 pins in the 10th to win his last match, and he struck on the first ball. And in fact, he doubled in the 10th frame. That strike on the first ball is what iced it. When you need a mark and you got a spare working, you don't think to myself, oh man, just get 8 or 9 here and make it. Just get that strike and notch a title. He's been super impressive all day long. Can he finish the deal right here? You bet he can. Wow. How good have his 10th frames been? And he knows it. He can do basic arithmetic. He knows it. I got a very proud papa. Oh, the whole Suncoast team is back here watching this. Very nice. This lady is something else. She's been around JBT since the Pennsylvania days. And her and her team do a great job here. Yeah. Darius's dad says this is the handy scratch division, and that's apt. These kids are getting so good. It's the, you know, this is right in the middle of the challenge level of ratios, and these guys just destroyed it, and gals just destroy it. You got to make them crazy hard for them to be air quotes hard anymore. They take these mid-level patterns and just fearlessly tear them up. So he's going to shoot 210 scratch again. And really just too big of a hole to dig out of for Connor. Even if he spares in those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we have a different scenario. But a perfect 10th frame for a very impressive ladder climb for now 2-time JBT champion JT. JT birdie. Bell's going to look back on this as a woulda, coulda, shoulda. He found the strike line late. These are shots that might have mattered, but 9 miss will do it to you every time. Does not matter if it's scratch, handicap, or a handy scratch. You're going to make those spares. That's less than ideal as well. But he'll be back at it tomorrow. Just about all of them will. Come on! 10 pin. Let him strike. Excellent day for him. I know he won't feel like it right now, but he did great, and that did awesome. Great stuff all day today here at Suncoast. Back at it tomorrow for more of my hobby conference, JBT.